What can men do? How can men be a part of the change?
Yeah. I mean, it's so we've been talking about a lot of really daunting and discouraging and hard things. And, um, I imagine that on the listening end of this, this can feel really maybe even discouraging and daunting. But I do want to encourage people that there is hope. There is absolutely hope. There's hope for the women and those in the industry to find healing and recovery. And there's hope for people who are caught in and stuck in porn addiction to find healing and recovery. And I think one of the biggest things that men and people in general can do is to refuse to participate in the demand. Because as you said earlier, this, unfortunately, it is a supply and demand issue. If there were no demand, there would not be women exploited, people exploited, young girls, young boys, men, because this happens to men and boys too. I serve women, so I'm using mostly, I'm referring to females, and women are disproportionately affected. But as long as there is a demand, there will be a supply. So one of the biggest things that we can do is reduce demand. The way that we have to do that is one person at a time, making the commitment to not participate in the demand, to getting the help, the recovery, the resources that you need to not participate in the demand. And the other thing is, from the very beginning of Treasures, I always prayed. I remember watching in the strip club, men walking in with briefcases of money and spending all of it. And just thinking like, wow. And then being in the nonprofit world and here, these efforts to support survivors in their recovery and being like, where are the briefcases of money? But one of my prayers from the beginning has been that people who had previously participated in the demand would give restitutionally and redirect their money that they used to spend on porn, on strip clubs, on prostitution, to the recovery of those that have been impacted by the commercial sex industry. And there are a very large percentage of our donors who are people who are saying, you know what, I'm no longer giving my money into these things. And now I want to use a portion of it to support the recovery of women. And so that's another thing that people can do, is to give restitutionally.